Okay, students, so we have seen what is an arithmetic sequence and we have solved certain problems on it. So let's start with arithmetic series. So what is an arithmetic series? It is simply the sum of the numbers which are in arithmetic sequence. That is, let's take an AP, for example, 5, 10, 15, 20, so on. And if you just add these numbers which are in AP, these numbers are in AP, isn't it? So if you add them, the resulting thing is called as arithmetic series. That's it. These numbers are in AP. If you just add them, we call it as arithmetic series. Now, there is a very important thing known as S suffix n, meaning sum of first n terms. For example, if I say S5, it means from the beginning till the fifth one, you're going to add first term plus second term plus third plus fourth plus fifth. If you add all the 5 terms from the beginning, we call it as S5. When I say S10, it is adding all the 10 numbers from the beginning. It is always from the beginning. Okay. If I just say sum of n terms, or if I say sum of 10 terms, the 10 numbers can be any number, any 10 numbers. But if I use the word sum of first n terms, it means we have to start from the beginning itself. Okay. So when I say S5, it is the sum from the beginning. Okay. Let's understand the difference between S5 and A5. This is fifth term. Fifth term means a number which is in the fifth position. Okay. But when I say S5, it is adding up all the numbers from the first till the fifth one. Okay. That is the difference between S5 and A5. In general, Sn and An. Okay. Now we have got a formula for Sn. Okay, basically there are two formulas. One is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, where n is the number of terms or represents the position, a is the first term, d is the common difference, or Sn is given by n by 2 into a plus an, or sometimes we also write it as a plus l, where l is the last term. Usually an we take it as the last term, isn't it? So either this formula or this. You're going to use this formula when you know the a and d value. Suppose you know the first term and the last term, we will make use of this. This is actually derived from this. This 2a can be written as a plus a, isn't it? 2a can be written as a plus a. And what is this a plus n minus 1 into d? Retain this as it is. A plus n minus 1 into d is nothing but an, isn't it? So that's how we derive that. So there are two formulas. One is the first one, the other one is the second one. This we are going to use it when we know the value of a and d. This we are going to use it when we know the first term and the last term. Okay. So let's quickly start with the exercise. Okay, students, let's start with the exercise. In the first main, we have to find the sum of the following APs. These numbers are in APs. We have to find the sum. The first question 2, 7, 12 up to 10 terms. So totally we have to add 10 terms. Okay. So as usual, let's find the value of A. I'm solving the first question. Okay. So here the A value is 2. Let's write the D value. D value is 7 minus 2, 5. So like always, we have to find the first thing is A value and D value. So we have found the A value and D value. Now here the value of n is 10. They have asked us to add 10 terms. Okay. So let's use the formula. Sn formula is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So here our n is 10. It becomes 10 by 2 into 2. A is 2 plus n is 10. So 10 minus 1. D is 5. So 2 ones are, 2 5s are. And remember one thing, you're not supposed to cancel this 2 and the 2 inside the bracket, because this belongs to the entire thing inside the bracket. Okay. So this belongs to all the terms inside the bracket. So you're not supposed to cancel it. Okay. If you want to cancel, take 2 common outside, then you can cancel. So 5 as it is, 2 2s are 4, 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 into 5. So 5, 4 plus 9 5s are 45. So this becomes 5 into 49, 45 plus 4. So it becomes 245. Okay, if you multiply, you get 245. So very simple, we form the value of A and D. And how many terms should we add? It is 10 terms that is given in the question. So you know the value of A, D, and substitute in the given formula, we'll get the answer. Let's get into the next problem. Okay, in the second problem, so let's, as usual, let's find the value of A and D. The value of A is negative 37. How do we find D? Second term minus first term, that is minus 33 minus first term is minus 37. So it becomes minus of minus. Minus 33 plus 37, which gives us 4. So D value is 4, A value is minus 37. How many terms should we add? 12 terms. So N value is 12. So let's write the formula. Sn is N by 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 into D. That's the formula to calculate Sn. So N value is 12. S12 is equal to 12 by 2. 2 into A is minus 37. Plus, let me do it directly. N value is 12. So 12 minus 1 gives you 11. So 11 into 4. Okay, N value is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. 2 1s are 2 6s are. Therefore, S12 is equal to 6. Plus into minus minus. 2 into 37. 74 plus 44. So you get 6 into minus 30. Minus 74 plus 44 gives you minus 30. So 6 into minus 30 is minus 180. So S12, if you add the 12 terms, you'll get it as minus 180. It's very simple, as similar as the previous one. So let's get into the next problem. So in the next problem, first find the value of A. The value of A is 0.6. The value of A is 0.6. How do we find the second term minus first term? The second term is 1.7 minus first term is 0.6. So you get 1.1 as the common difference. Okay. Now what is the value of N? The value of N is 100. So you have to add 100 terms. Okay. Now let's utilize the formula. What is the formula? Sn is equal to N by 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 into D. So what is N? N is 100. So S 100 is equal to 100 divided by 2. 2 into A is 0.6 plus, let me do it directly. N is 100. 100 minus 1 gives you 99. D is 1.1. Okay. 2 1s are 2, 50s are. So 52 into 0.6 is 1.2 plus 99 into 1.1. So if you do it, you get 99 and 99. 1 carry 1089. So it will become 108.9. So if you multiply these two things, you get 108.9. Okay. So 51.2 plus 108.9. So 109, 110.1. If you add it, you get 110.1. If you do this, 5 1s are 5, 5 zeros are 0, 5 1s are 5, 5 1s are 5. Okay, 0. Let me check it. Let's multiply 110.1. 110.1 into 50. Okay, 0 1s are 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 1s are 5, 5 zeros are 0. 5 1s are 5, 5 1s are 5. So you get 0, 5, 0, 5, 5. Okay. So after decimal there is 1 point. So 5505. Okay. get 5505. That will be your answer. So here we found the value of A, which is 0.6, and D value is 1.1, and N is given as 100 terms. So we have got the answer. Okay, let's get into the next problem then. So in the next problem, as usual, A value, D value. Let's find A value and D value initially. A value is 1 by 15. Let's find D value, which is second term minus first term. Second term is 1 by 12 minus 1 by 15. As you can see here, the denominators are not same, so we have to make them same using LCM. LCM of 12 and 15. LCM of 12 and 15 is 60. Least common multiple. In simple words, if you take 12 tables and 15 tables, which is the first number that comes in both? 60, right? You start writing the 12 tables and 15 tables. So which is the first number that comes in both? It is 60. So that is your least common multiple. To make this 60, I have to multiply by 5 for both numerator and denominator. 5 ones are 5, 5 12s are 60. To make this 60, I have to multiply by 4 for both numerator and denominator. 4 ones are 4, 4 into 15 is 16. Now the denominators are same, you can subtract it. 5 minus 4 is 1. So it will become 1 over 60, 1 by 60. That's the value of D. So here N value is how many terms? 11 terms. So N value is 11. So let's use the formula. Sn is N by 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 into D. Okay. N is 11. So 11 by 2. 2 into A is 1 by 15 plus N is 11. So 11 minus 1 gives you 10. 10 into 1 by 60. Okay. So this becomes S11 is equal to 11 by 2. It becomes 2 by 15 plus 10 by 60. If you wish, you can also cancel it, or 10 ones are 10 6 are, that is also fine. So I'm going to take LCM. The LCM of 15 and 60 is 60 itself. So to make it 60, I have to multiply by 4. So S11 is equal to 11 by 2. If I multiply by 4, 4 8s are 4, 15s are 60. I mean 4 2s are 8, 4 15s are 60. Okay. So the other number as it is 10 by 60. So what do we get now? S11 is equal to 11 by 2. The denominators are same, so you can add it. So it becomes 18 by 60. Okay, 2 ones are, 2 nines are, 3 threes are, 3 20s are. So 11 into 3, 33 divided by 20. That's our S11. So sum of 11 terms. In all these problems, initially we found the value of A and D, and in the question itself they have given you the value of N. So we were easily able to find it. Okay, let's get into the second main. The second main, if you observe, we have to add 7 plus 10 and a half plus 14 plus so on. There are some numbers in between plus 84. So the last number that we are going to add is 84. Don't get confused. If you observe here, they've asked us to add up to 10 terms. This is not the last number here. Okay. This 10 is not the last number here. It is saying 2, 7, 10. Like this, you're going to take 10 numbers. Okay. But here, 7 plus 10 and a half plus 14, so on up to 84. This is a number, last number. Okay. Now, as usual, find the value of A and D. So in the question, the value of A is 7. D we can directly do it. So in the question, the first one, second main, A value is 7, D value is second term minus first term. So it is 10 and a half minus 7, which gives you 3 and a half. Directly you can do it. 10 and a half minus 7 is 3 and a half. 3 and a half is nothing but 7 by 2, isn't it? In improper fraction, it becomes 7 by 2. Okay. Now, if you observe in this question, when comparing with the previous one, here they have given you values of N. I mean, how many terms should we add? Okay. Here, they have told you to add from 7 till 84. But we don't know how many number of terms are there. Here there are 3 and here there is 1 4. in between there are some numbers missing. So we don't know the value of n. So which means we have to find the value of n, then proceed. How do we find the value of n? We have already solved certain problems. Certain similar problems. So we have found the value of a, we have found the value of d. This number, I don't know which position it is. This is in first, this is in second, third, but I don't know which position this is. So I'm going to take it as an. Or in another words, this is in the last. So let's take it as an. Nth term is 84. Below an, let's write the formula. A plus n minus 1 into d equals 84. What is the value of a? 7 plus n minus 1. The value of d is 7 by 2 equals 84. Now send this 7 to the other side. So it becomes n minus 1 into 7 by 2 equals 84 minus 7. So it becomes n minus 1 into 7 by 2. 84 minus 7 is 77. This 7 by 2 is in multiplication. If you transpose other side, it will become 2 by 7. In other words, this 2 is in denominator, goes to the numerator. This is in numerator, comes to the denominator. Therefore, n minus 1 equals 77 into 2 by 7. Reverse, okay? 7 ones are 7 11s are. Therefore, n minus 1 equals 11 into 2 is 22, which implies n is 23. Minus 1 to the other side. 22 plus 1 is 23. So basically here, there are 23 numbers, 23 terms in this. Okay, we are adding 23 numbers. Earlier we didn't know this, we got to know now. So let's use the formula. Let's use the second formula. N by 2 a plus an. Because I know the first term and the last term. Because I know the first term and the last term, so I'm going to use this. N value is 23. So it is 23 by 2. A value is 7. An value is 84. So it becomes 23 by 2 into 84 plus 7 is 91. So if you multiply, you get 23. 2 9 2 is 18. 20. These are 27 to carry. 20. So 3 7 9 2093 divided by 2. Okay, so we get the answer as 2093 divided by 2. That's the final answer. So a value is known, d value is known, but the thing is we don't know how many numbers are there. How many numbers are we adding? We don't know that stuff. So we have to find the value of n. But here they are clearly given you 2, 7, 12, add 10 terms. They are clearly given in the question. But here we don't know how many numbers are we adding. So that's why we have to initially find the value of n. Once you know the value of n, you can proceed. The next problem is exactly the similar one. Let's try it out. So here a value is 34. So the next question, a value is 34. A value is 34 and d value is a2 minus a1, which is 32 minus 34 gives you negative 2. D value is minus 2. So once you got the value of d and a, what is missing? N is missing. So how many? We don't know how many number of terms are we adding. So let's find the value of n exactly the same way. So here an is what? The last number, the last term, that is 10. Let's write the formula. A plus n minus 1 into d equals 10. What is the value of a? The value of a is 34 plus n minus 1. The value of d is minus 2 equals 10. So n minus 1 into minus 2 equals 10. Transpose 34 to the other side. Plus 34. If it goes that side, it will become minus 34. So n minus 1 into minus 2 equals 10 minus 34 is minus 24. So what do you get? Minus 2, you have to transpose it. N minus 1 equals minus 24 by minus 2. Minus minus gets cancelled. 2 1s are 2 12s are. Now therefore n minus 1 is 12. Therefore n is 13. Okay. So we got the value of n as 13. Which means there are 13 numbers here that we are adding. Okay. Now let's use the formula. What is the formula? Sn is equal to n by 2 into a plus. You can also use L. Instead of an, you can also use L. No issues. So what is n here? 13. S13 equals 13 by 2. A is 34. L is the last one, that is 10. So 13 by 2 into 44. 2 ones are 2 22s are 26, 26, 286. Okay. So 13 into 22. 13 into 22 gives you 286. So S13 is 286. Okay. So let's get into the next problem. Isn't it similar to the first one that we did? We found the value of A and D, then N was not known. We found N. Once all the three are known, you can solve it. Okay. The next question, minus 5, minus 8, minus 11 up to minus 230. So here, same thing. A value is minus 5. A value is minus 5. D is A2 minus A1. A2 is minus 8 minus of minus 5. So it becomes minus 8. Minus into minus is plus. So minus 8 plus 5, which gives you minus 3. Okay, and the last term is minus 230. That's our last term, which we take it as AN. AN is minus 230. Let's solve it from here. First, let's find how many terms are we adding. Okay, minus 230. What is the value of A? The value of A is minus 5 plus N minus 1. The value of D is minus 3 equals minus 230. So N minus 1 into minus 3 equals minus 230. Minus 5, the other side will become plus 5. So N minus 1 into minus 3 equals minus 225. Therefore, N minus 1 is equal to minus 225 by minus 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. 3 1s are, 3 7s are 21, 1 carry. 3 5s are, 3 5s are 15. Therefore, N minus 1 is equal to 75, which implies N is 76. Meaning there are 76 terms that we are adding. So let's use the formula. So what is the formula here? The formula remains the same thing. Sn is equal to N by 2 into A plus L. So N is 76. So 76 by 2. A is minus 5 plus L is minus 230. So it becomes 2 1s are 2 38s are. So it is 38 minus 5 plus into minus minus 230. So it becomes 38 into minus 235. Same sign, you have to add it. So multiply this, that's your final answer. When you multiply this, you get an answer, that's your final answer. Okay, I hope it is clear. Please try to understand the difference. Here they have already given you the N value, how many terms you should add. But here they have given you the AP in series, arithmetic series, but we don't know how many terms are there. So in these type of question, find the value of N, then proceed. Okay, so let's get into the next question. Okay students, let's continue with the next problem. So in the next problem, we have 10 sub questions. In the third one, we have got 10 sub questions. I've taken the first 5. Okay, so in the first one, they've given you the value of A, D and the nth term. We have to find the value of N and Sn. Okay, so these are given things. Let's start with this An to find the value of N. Okay, let's start with this. An is equal to 50. This is the first one. So An formula is A plus N minus 1 into D equals 50. We know the value of A and D, so let's substitute it. 5 plus N minus 1. D value is 3 equals 50. Let's transpose this 10 to the other, 50, 5 to the other side. So it will become minus 5. 50 minus 5 is 45. So N minus 3, N minus 1 into 3 equals 45. Therefore, N minus 1 is 45 by 3. 3 1s are, 3 15s are. Therefore, N minus 1 is 15, which implies N is 16. We got the first one. If we started with this nth term, since we know the value of A and D, easily we can find the value of N. Okay, let's find Sn. So let's use this formula. N by 2 into A plus An. We know the value of A and An, right? So let's use it. So N value is 16. So S16 will become 16 by 2. A is 5. An is 50. Okay, you can keep it as Sn itself if you wish. 2 1s are, 2 8s are. 8 into 5 plus 50 is 55. So it becomes 440. So that's our Sn or S16. Okay. So we know the value of nth term, so it's very easy to find the value of n. So we found the value of n. Once we found the value of n, we have found Sn. Okay, let's get into the next problem. In the next problem, as you can see, the next one, they've given us the value of a as 7. Okay, the 13th term is 35. So we don't know the value of b, then we have to find S13. So let's start with this A13 because we get an equation through that. So A is A plus 12D. A value is 7. So 7 plus 12D is equal to 35. So 12D is equal to 35 minus 7. Therefore 12D is equal to 28. Therefore 12D is equal to 28. Therefore D is 28 by 12. 4 3s are 4 7s are. Therefore the D value is 7 over 3, 7 by 3. So A13, the 13th term is given as 35. So we use that and we got the value of D. Now let's find S13. S13 formula. First let's write N for Sn formula. N by 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 into D. Or you can also take A plus A13. No problem. S13 is equal to 13 by 2. 2 into A is 7 plus N is 13. So 13 minus 1 is 12 into 7 by 3. Okay. So 13 by 2. 2 7s are 14. 3 1s are 3 4s are. So 7 4s are is 28. So we get 13 by 2 into 42. 2 1s are 2 21s are. So we have got 13 into 21. So 13 into 21, if you multiply 13 and 21, we get the answer. So it will be around 273. That will be the answer. Okay, 273. We started with this because we know the value of A, we don't know the value of D. So we'll get an equation. So this is our equation. In that, if you substitute the value of A, you will get the value of D. Once you get the value of D, you can proceed. Okay, so these are first two questions. Let's get into the next questions. So in the next one, that is the third one, so they have given A12 as 37 and they have given D value. Same stuff, they have given you the D value, we don't know the A value. So one thing is known, the other thing is not known. So we'll get one equation, solve it, we'll get the value of A. Okay, let's do that. The third one, A12 is 37 and D is 3. You have to find A and S12. Okay, so here let's start with A12. The 12th term is 37. Formula is A plus 11D is equal to 37. A value is not known, so A plus 11, D value is known, 3 equals 37. So A plus 11, 3s are 33 equals 37. Therefore A is 37 minus 33. Therefore A is 4. So we got the value of A. Now we can easily find S12. Sn formula is n by 2 into, or you can use this A plus An. Okay, that will be very easy to solve. So S12 is equal to 12 by 2 A plus A12. So 12 by 2 is 6. 6 into A is 4. A12 is known, 37. So let's take it. So locum 6 into 41. Okay. So locum 246. That will be our Sn value. 6 into 41. 6 1s are 6. 6 4s are 24. So 246. Okay. Let's get into the next one. Fourth question. Again, A3 is 15. S10 is 125. Okay. Here we don't know the value of A and D, but they've asked us only D, but we have to know the value of A. So A3 is 15. So A3 is nothing but A plus 2D, that is equal to 15. Equation 1. Next, S10. So let's first write Sn formula. N by 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 into D. That is Sn formula. But let's take S10 since it is given. 10 by 2 into 2A plus N is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9D. 10 by 2 is 5 into 2a plus 9d. S10 is given as 125. Let's get this 5 the other side. It becomes 125 by 5 equals 2a plus 9d. 5 ones are 5, 25 are. So 25 equals 2a plus 9d. Let's reverse it. 2a plus 9d is equal to 25. Equation 2. So we got the value of equation 1 and 2. Let's solve it by elimination method. Okay, let's solve it by elimination method. So the first equation is a plus 2d equals 15. The second equation is 2a plus 9d is equal to 25. If you wish to eliminate a, if you observe the coefficient of a is 1 here, but here the coefficient of a is 2. They are different, so you cannot eliminate now. You have to make them same. What is the LCM of 1 and 2? It is 2. How do you make them same? It is using LCM itself. So the LCM of 1 and 2 is 2. Since the LCM is 2, I have to make this 1 as 2. How do I make it? Simply multiply it by 2. Okay. This is already 2, so you need not worry. So 2 into 1a, 2a. 2 into 2d, 4d. 2 into 15, 30. Write the second one now. 2a plus 9d equals 25. Earlier, the coefficients were not same, we made it same. And both have got same sign, so change it. So plus 2a minus 2a gets cancelled. 4d minus 9d is minus 5d equals 5. Therefore, d is 5 by minus 5, which gives us minus 1. D value is minus 1. So we got the value of D. And here we have to find A10, isn't it? Let's also find the value of A. To find A10, let's take the first equation. A plus 2D is equal to 15. A plus 2, D value is minus 1 equal to 15. So A minus 2 equals 15 implies A is 17. Minus 2 to the other side will become plus 2. Therefore, now you can easily find the 10th term, that is A plus 9D. Okay, A is how much? 17 plus 9 into minus 1. So 17 minus 9 gives us 8. So that is our 10th term. Okay. So as usual, here we don't know the value of A and D. Both were not known. So somehow we get two equations. We have got it. Solve it by elimination method. Then you will get A and D. Once A and D is known, we can solve any sort of problem. Okay. Let's get on the fifth problem. Here D value is given. A value is not known, which means you will get one equation. In that one equation, if you substitute D, you will get the value of A. Okay. I'm sorry. So let's take the next question, fifth one. The fifth one, what are the things that they've given us? They've given us D value. D value is 5 and S9 is 75. A and A9 should be found. So let's write Sn formula, which is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So n is replaced by 9. S9 is 9 by 2. 2a plus n is 9. So 9 minus 1 gives you 8. D value is 5. Okay. So S9. Okay. In place of S9, we can write 75. 75 is equal to 9 by 2. 2a plus 8 5s are 40. Okay. So 75 is equal to 9 by 2. You're not supposed to cancel this 2 and this 2 because it belongs to everything. Instead, you can take 2 as common. So we'll be left with a plus 20. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Get this 9 the other side. 9 by 75. 75 by 9 is equal to a plus 20. So 3 3s are 3. 25 are. So 25 by 3. 25 by 3 is equal to a plus 20. Get the 20 the other side. Therefore, a is equal to 25 by 3 minus 20, which becomes 25 by 3 minus 20 can be written as 20 by 1. So the LCM of 1 and 3 is 3 itself. So I have to multiply by 3 to make it 3. So this becomes 60. So 25 minus 60 gives you minus 35. Yeah, minus 35 by 3. That's the value of A. So once you know the value of A and D, the rest you can do it by yourself. A9, formula A9 is A plus 8D. A is minus 35 by 3 plus 8. D value is 5. So minus 35 by 3 plus 40. Solve it, you will get the answer. So as I told you here, the A value is not known. So through this, we get the value of A. We have done the first 5 problems. Let's get into the next 5 problems. Okay, students, let's continue with the next 5 problems. So in the next 6th question, so the A value is given, D value is given, and Sn is given. We have to find N value. That is, there are some terms, if you add some terms, we don't know how many terms exactly, so it gives you 90. So we have to find how many terms should we add to get 90. Okay, so A is given as 2, D is 8. Okay, let's write the Sn formula. Sn is n by 2 into 2A plus n minus 1 into D. Okay, so what is n? We don't know. So let's keep it as it is. But we know the value of A. So 2 into 2 plus n minus 1. D is 8. So Sn value is 90. 90 equals n by 2 into 2 2s are 4. So let's simplify this. 8 into n is 8n. 8 into minus 1 is minus 8. So here 90 equals n by 2. 8n as it is. 4 minus 8. Like terms. 4 minus 8 gives you minus 4. So in this step, if you are able to take 2 as common, take it out and cancel with this 2. Otherwise, if you are not able to take common, send this 2 to the other side. If you are able to take 2 common, both the numbers are divisible by 2 here, I can take common. If not, send this 2 to the other side. So 90 equals n by 2. If you can take 2 as common, you will be left with 4n minus 2. So that 2 gets cancelled. So we are left with 90 equals n into 4n minus 2. So it becomes 90 equals 4 into n, 4n square, n into minus 2, it becomes minus 2n. Okay. So here the highest power is 2. The variable is n and its highest power is 2, which means it's a quadratic equation. Let's get it in the standard form. What is the standard form? N square, the highest power, and the next highest power, next lowest power, and the constant number. To be put it in a simple word, it should be in the decreasing orders of the power. So power 2, then power 1, then power 0, which is nothing but a constant number. Okay, let me send this 90 to the other side. So 0 equals 4n square minus 2n plus 90 to the other side will become minus 90. So it is in the standard form. If the highest power is 2, we call it as quadratic equation. You would have learned it in your previous year. The variable is n. What is the highest power? 2. So it is known as quadratic equation. Always it should be in the standard form. That is the decreasing orders of powers. Highest power is 2, then 1, then constant number. If you got, let's say, highest power is 3, then you should have power 2, power 1. It should be like that. Okay. So let's write it in the reverse form. 4n square minus 2n minus 90 equal to 0. Whenever you solve a quadratic equation, before solving, check whether is that all the 3 numbers have got any common factor. Meaning, can I divide all this 3 number by any one number? Is there any number which divides all the 3? Yes, of course, 2, isn't it? So I'm going to divide throughout by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both the sides, or divide throughout by 2. So if I divide this by 2, 4 by 2 becomes 2n square, minus if I divide by 2, 2 gets cancelled, you will be left with 1, minus if I divide this by 2, I get 45 equal to 0. So we got a quadratic equation. We have solved till here, still we have not found the value of n. Okay. So let me summarize it, then we'll go to this. So write the formula, a value, d value is known, substituted, you got a quadratic equation. On solving, you got a quadratic equation. Now how to solve this quadratic equation? There are many methods: factorization method, formula method, completing the square method, which we'll be learning in one of the chapter, quadratic equations. But let's solve this by factorization method. Okay, let me rewrite this, only the quadratic equation. So here the quadratic equation, 2n square minus 1n minus 45 equal to 0. Okay, that's the quadratic equation that we have got. Okay, there are certain steps. If you follow this, easily you will get it. This factorization method is also known as splitting the middle term. Okay, the first step is to check whether it is in the standard form. That is the decreasing orders of the powers. It is in its standard form. Okay, then you have to find something called as A, B, C. What is this A, B, C? These are the coefficients. Okay, A is coefficient of n square. N square coefficient, that is which number is multiplied with n square. The number that is multiplied to n square is 2. So coefficient of A is, coefficient of n square, that is A, that is 2. What is B? The coefficient of n with the sign, that is minus 1. Okay, actually only 1 is multiplied. Usually the standard form is actually positive, everything will be positive, so I can write this as plus of minus 1. So now the coefficient becomes minus 1. Okay, in the standard form everything will be positive, so if you get it in the standard form, okay, you'll get to know the value of B is minus 1 and the value of C, the constant term, that is minus 45. So A is coefficient of n square coefficient is 2, n coefficient is B, the separate number is C with the sign, you must take with the sign. The next step is multiply this A and C, that is 2 into minus 45, which gives you minus 90. That's your next step. First step is to find A, B, C. We have found it. The next step is to multiply A and C. We have done it. Now we have to find two numbers, two factors actually, factors of 90. In other words, we have to find two numbers in such a way that if I multiply, I should get 90. If I multiply those two numbers, I should get 90. And since it is negative over here, I should subtract those two numbers. If it is negative, we should subtract. If it is positive, we have to add it. Okay. Here it is negative. Therefore, if I subtract these two numbers, I have to get the middle term, middle number, B value. Okay. So, for example, if I take 45 into 2 itself, if I multiply these two numbers, I get 90. But if I subtract these two numbers, will I get 1? No. So, which is the correct number? 10 nines are, isn't it? 10 nines are 90. If you multiply, you're getting it. If you subtract 10 and 9, will you get 1? Yes. Okay. So 10 nines are. It is negative 1. Actually, we need negative 1. So minus 10 plus 9 is the correct number. Okay. Minus 10 plus 9. You get minus 1. You multiply, you get minus 90. Okay. So these are the correct numbers. I repeat the first step, A, B, C. Multiply A and C, then find these two numbers. Okay. Now, retain the first and the last as it is, 2n square. The middle one will be replaced by these two, minus 10 with n, because it is 1n, right? So, minus 10n plus 9n minus 45 equal to 0. So, that is why it is known as splitting the middle term. The middle term we have split into 10 and 9. Okay, minus 10 and 9. Okay. Now, between the first two, you must take common. Between the next two, you must take common. Now, first, how do you take common? Look at the numbers. Here we have got 2. Here we have got 10. Which is the highest number that divides both 2 and 10? It is 2. There are other numbers also. 1 divides both. But which is the highest number? The highest number is 2. Okay. Now, look at the variables. You got n square and n. In the variables, you should always take the least power as the common. Okay, n square, n, the least power is n. Okay, so that will be common. You took 2 as common. Out of n square, you took n as common. What is left out? N minus 10. Remember, if you multiply this, you should get back the original one. Whatever sign is there, plus, plus, minus, minus, whatever is there, retain it. Plus. Now, between the numbers 9 and 45, it is obviously 9. 9 divides both, right? I can take 9 as common. There is only variable here, there is no variable here, so I cannot take variable as common. So 9 outside, what is left out? N minus, okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. N minus 5. Why is it 5? Because I have taken 2 as common, isn't it? So 2 into what gives me 10? 2 into 5. Okay, that's a mistake I made, I'm sorry. So 2n into n minus 5 plus 9, n minus 9 into what gives me 45? 9 into 5. Okay. If we have done it correctly, we'll get the same things in both of the brackets. Both the brackets. You're going to get same things. Okay. Those same things, again, taking out common, n minus 5. Or in other words, the same things, you write it once. The remaining things, 2n plus 9 equal to 0. Okay. Remember this. If you multiply two numbers and you're getting the answer as 0, you're multiplying two numbers and you're getting the answer as 0, then any one of them compulsory there will be 0. Either A should be 0 or B should be 0. You're multiplying two numbers and you're getting the answer as 0. Either A should be 0 or B should be 0. Same thing. This is like A and this entire thing is like B. So A into B is 0 implies either A is 0 or 2n plus 9. B is 0. So which implies n is 5. Minus 5 to the other side will become plus 5. Here 2n is equal to minus 9. Therefore n is minus 9 by 2. This is not possible because n cannot be negative. N is number of terms, right? You cannot have minus terms. That is not at all defined. So we cannot take this. So the correct value of n is 5. So how many terms should we add to get 95 terms? Okay. So this is a very, very important one which I have done. Again, we are going to do the same thing in quadratic equations. So let's understand now itself. First step, check whether it is in standard form. Okay. Once it is in its standard form, find the value of a, b, c. What is a? Coefficient of n square. B is coefficient of n. C is the constant number, the separate number without any variables. Okay. Find a, b, c. Multiply a and c. You get this. You have to split this. If you multiply, you should get 90. And if it is minus over here, you have to subtract these two in order to get the middle one. If it is plus over here, then you have to add these two to get the middle one. Okay. Then you take common and solve it. Okay. This method actually is known as factorization method, also known as splitting the middle term. Okay. So we are finished with sixth one. Let's get into the seventh one. So in the seventh question, a value is known. A value is known. A value is how much? Seventh one. A value is 8. AN is 62. SN is 210. You have to find N and D. Okay. So let's use this one. First, let's start with Sn. Sn is equal to n by 2 into A plus An. Let's use this. Okay. Sn is 210. N by 2. A is 8. An is 62. Okay. 210 equals n by 2. 62 plus 8 is 70. Therefore, 2 ones are 2, 35s are. So 210 is equal to n into 35. Get this 35 the other side. 210 by 35 is equal to n. 7 5s are, 7 3s are, 7 30s are, 5 1s are, 5 6 are. Therefore, the value of n is 6. We got the value of n as 6. Now we have to find d. For that, let's use an. An is equal to 62. An is a plus n minus 1 into d equals 62. So a is 8 plus n is 6. So 6 minus 1 into d equals 62. 8 plus 5d is equal to 62. Send the 62 to the other side. 5d is equal to 62 minus 8. 5d is equal to 54. Therefore, d is 54 by 5. That's the value of d. So Sn we have used because we know the first term and the last term, right? So let's use that formula. So 70 to 1s are 2 35s are cancellation. Transpose is 35 to the other side. So you'll get it. Okay. 35 1s are 35 6s are. So n value is 6. Then take an formula is a plus n minus 1 into b. N is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. You solve it, you will get the value of d. Okay. So in the next question, we have found the value of an and n and d. Okay, let's get on to the next one. An is 4, d is 2, Sn is minus 14. What is n? What is a? Okay, then. Let's get into the next one. In the next one, a values, sorry, an is 4, d is 2, Sn is minus 14, n value, a value. Okay. Let's take an first. An is 4, therefore a plus n minus 1 into d equals 4. We know the value of d is 2. So a plus n minus 1 into 2 equal to 4. Okay. So let's split it. A plus 2 into n is 2n. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2 equal to 4. A plus 2n equals 4. Minus 2 to the other side will become plus 2. Therefore, a plus 2n is equal to 6. So let's keep it as it is. Now let's take Sn. Okay. So a plus 2n is 6. Okay. So let's take Sn now. Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So Sn is how much? Minus 14 equals n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1. D value is 2. Okay. Or let's put it like this. Here a will become 6 minus 2n. Let's send this 2n to the other side. A will become 6 minus 2n. So that let's substitute here. Okay. Minus 14 equals n by 2, 2a plus 2n minus 2 plus 2n minus 2. So minus 14 equals n by 2, 2a, 2 into 6, 12, 2 into 2, 4. So it will become 12 minus 4n plus 2n minus 2. Okay. So in place of a, I have substituted this and I have directly solved it. So minus 14 is equal to n by 2. So 12 minus 2 is 10. Minus 4n plus 2n is minus 2n. Okay. Here you can take 2 as common. If you take 2 as common, 5 minus n will be left out. So 2 gets cancelled. Minus 14 equals 5n minus n square. Okay, if this n square is positive, it is very easy to solve. So say, let me send it the other side. Minus 14 minus n square to the other side will become plus n square. Plus 5n to the other side minus 5n equal to 0. Rearrange this. N square minus 5n minus 14 equal to 0. You got the quadratic equation. So again, if you solve this quadratic equation, you will get the value of a and d. Let's remember this. Let's write it somewhere here. A is 6 minus 2n. Once we find the value of n, we can substitute here. Okay. Now let's write the quadratic equation. N square minus 5n minus 14 equal to 0. So here, as usual, it is in the standard form. After standard form, find a, which is 1, b is minus 5, c is minus 14. Multiply a and c. 1 into minus 14 is minus 14. Split it. If you multiply, you should get 14. Since it is minus, if you subtract, you should get 5. So it is 7 2s are minus 7 plus 2, because you need minus 5. Okay. So those are the correct numbers. So n square, instead of this minus 5n, introduce these two. Minus 7n plus 2n minus 14 equal to 0. Between these two, out of in numbers there is nothing common, because here it is 1 and 7. You can just take 1 as common, or you can just leave it. Between n square and n is common, so we'll be left with n minus 7. Between 2 and 14, 2 is common, so we'll be left with n minus 7 itself. Okay, because 2 7s is 14, right? That's why we have written 7. The same thing, n minus 7 and n plus 2 equal to 0, which implies n minus 7 is equal to 0, or n plus 2 is equal to 0, which implies n is 7 or n is minus 2. This is not possible. Therefore, the correct value of n is 7. So you got the value of n. Substitute here. A is 6 minus 2n. 6 minus 2 into 7. So it becomes 6 minus 14, which is minus 8. So you got the value of a also. Okay. I hope this is understood. Let's get into the next question. In the next question, they have given you the last term L, and they have given you the sum. Instead of writing Sn, they have written it as capital S. That's it. And they have given you the value of n. We have to find a value. So we know that Sn is equal to n by 2 into a plus L. So Sn is given as 144. N is given as 9. A value should be found out. L value is 28. So transpose this 2's in division. If it goes, it will become multiplication. 144 into 2 equals 9 into a plus 28. You can get this 9 to the other side. It is in multiplication. If it comes this side, it will become division. Equals a plus 28. 9 ones are 9, 16s are. So 16 into 2 is 32. 32 equals a plus 28. Send this 28 to the other side. 32 minus 28 is equal to a. Therefore, a is 4. So you got the value of a as 4. Okay. So since you know the since L value is given, obviously this formula should be used. Whatever you know, substituted, the remaining thing can be easily found out. Okay. So we have completed with the third problem of the second exercise. Let's continue with the next problems in the next video. Thank you, students.